Good evening. It's 6 p.m. in Barbados, 5 p.m. in Jamaica, and 4 p.m. in Belize. Welcome to this edition of Let's Talk Access. I'm your host, Cherise Glass. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are in the Caribbean. As you know, this program is produced and presented by the UWI Global Camp. And today, we are meeting with two of our 2023 graduates who represent two of our UWI Global Campus countries, and they will be speaking on their experiences and telling us their stories of their journey from freshers to graduates at the UWI Global. It's my pleasure today to introduce two young ladies, Molentia Samuel from Anguilla and Witella Charles from Antigua and Barbuda. Ladies, it's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to Let's Talk Ask. Please, just let everyone know again where you're from and what you studied at the UWI Global.
Well, my name is Molentia Samuel, and I am from Anguilla. I studied Masters in Marketing at the UWI Global Campus.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Witella Charles. I'm from the island of Antigua and Barbuda, and I pursued a master's in project management.
Okay, great. Tell us, is there anything special you would like our audience to know about you just so they can get to know you a bit more before we divulge into our program?
My name means morning sun shining, and I'm allergic to the sun.
The irony, right?
Yeah.
One special thing about me is I am from the island of Antigua and Barbuda. However, I have Dominican roots.
So do I.
Oh, really?
Yes. My grandpa.
So I would say, go ahead.
My grandpa was from Dominica. He was from a village called Dublin. Where are your people from?
My people are from Portsmouth.
Okay, I'm familiar.
See, all of this brought to you by the UWI Global Campus, a true Caribbean university. So ladies, tell us, why did you choose to pursue what you studied, and why did you choose the Global Campus to do it?
Oh, you're going ahead? Go ahead.
Anyone, take the floor.
Okay, I'll go first. Well, I am a Pelican throughout. I graduated in 2019 from St. Augustine campus in Trinidad and Tobago. And in 2020, during the pandemic, I just decided that I didn't want to get too, I didn't want to stop studying too long. So I decided to try out the UE Global Campus. I've done courses with the local site before, and I was familiar with UE, so I said, why not? And of course, UE holds a special place in my heart.
It's similar to Molentia. I'm also a UB Pelican throughout. I graduated from the Mona campus in 2019. So I always knew that for my master's, I did want to continue on within the Pelican family. However, I did want to also gain work experience, but not hold off the master's, and the global campus provided me with the opportunity to do that.
Great. So can you give us a bit of background on how you would have gone about deciding on your program and actually saying, well, I want to do it at the global campus, not just for your background as a Pelican, but what was the process like for you?
Well, for me,
go ahead, sorry.
For me, I actually initially started in the human resource management program. thought that that was the route that I was going to go in. I love communications. I love interacting with persons. That's where I was headed. And during my employment, I'm currently employed at the UWI Five Islands campus. I realized a lot of the tasks and duties that I was doing involved a great deal of project management. And that was something that I found myself being drawn towards. And that made me make the shift from human resource to project management.
Well, for me, at the time, I was working within the marketing department at my previous job, and I really fell in love with digital marketing because at that time I was able to work with our international reps. I used to work for the Angular Tourism Board, and I was able to help manage our social media platforms. So I wanted to grow within the field, which made it easy for me to decide on marketing.
So based on what I'm hearing, you would have chosen it based on your current and future career projection.
Basically, yes.
Yes. So tell me, one of our three pinnacles is access. Part of our strategy is access. Tell me what access means to both of you.
For
For me,
me, access is having the ability or the opportunity to participate in activities or ventures that will aid in my growth and development. And that's exactly what the UWI Global Campus did.
well, for me, during the pandemic, of course, and because I'm quite busy, access for me basically meant being able to access course materials and being able to reach out to lecturers and group facilitators any time of the day, any time of the night. So I really enjoyed the fact that the course material was always readily available. You could always review it, even if you missed a course because of some other engagement that you might have had. The material was always there so that I could always review it when I got the opportunity to.
So I'm hearing access is flexibility. It's for you to set your better goals for your career. Can you describe your overall experience at the UWI Global Campus and how that fits into your idea of access?
For me, I would say that it was very rewarding, but it was also challenging because while it was very flexible, I had demands in other areas of my life, which kind of I had to like weigh the balance at times.
For me, it was challenging because, yes, we are afforded flexibility and we have access. However, balancing school and work, it's difficult. It's really not for the weak. It can be hectic. You really just have to push yourself. However, the ability to simply, if you maybe miss a class, even go back and have the recording available, that was helpful.
So tell us in terms of balancing. When you say balancing, give us some idea into a day-to-day in your life as a student and also having other priority matters like work, family, any other thing that you may have that you had to work through along with your study. Just give us some insight.
Well, I work 8:30 to 4:30. So, sometimes you get home, you have a hectic day, you want to relax. Sometimes you have classes
Yes.
that's not possible. Or you maybe have a group assignment and we're meeting persons from different parts of the Caribbean who are also in different time zones. So it's a compromise and it's a give and take. Sometimes maybe you're in a group session on your way home from work, you haven't even had a chance to take a breath yet. So that's part of the balance and the push and pull.
And for me, at the time when I was pursuing this degree, I had two jobs. So
Wow.
yeah,
How did you manage?
It was challenging. I had two jobs at that time. So I would go to work at 8:30, finish work at 4:30, and then I would have to go to my next job at 5 o'clock. So when I finished work from my second job, which would sometimes be around 11 or later, I would go home. I wouldn't get any rest because I would have to just take a shower and get into whatever course material that I had to do. Sometimes I would have to meet with my colleagues during my lunch break because, of course, I had to make it work. There was no time to find excuses as to why you couldn't get stuff done because, of course, everyone is busy, everyone is leading and living different lives, and this was a commitment that I made. And because I made this commitment, I had to find the time. I really don't even know how I did, but I actually managed pretty well for the most part.
I can't even begin to imagine, even though I also did online studying with work. To imagine having two jobs, as you said, you're so tired
Mhm.
after just one. Imagine two. And that just reminds me of one of the actual promotional assets we have on our Global Campus Facebook page. Dreams don't work unless you do. So
Yeah.
that is basically telling you you have to do what it takes to get to that point in your life that you would want. And just to let the audience who are listening to us and watching us know that you too can be like Malentia and Ritella. Our application period is now open for all programs beginning in September 2024. While they would have done their postgraduate program. Our undergraduate program, the application deadline for that is Wednesday, July 31st. And for the postgrad program, it's Friday, July 12th. So you have until those two times to apply for which level of study you wish to pursue. You can apply at www.global.uwi.edu/apply now. www.global.uwi.edu/apply now. You too, maybe in the next couple of years, you too can be sitting here speaking about your experience like these two awesome young ladies. So you've given us some insight into your day-to-day and the overall experience at the global campus. Can you remember, I'm sure you can, the best aspect of your journey? What is or was a memorable moment or moments that you would like to share with those who are watching?
Well, for me, UE has always been an institution that has helped me to create a diverse network across the Caribbean region. So I have so many different friendships, and I've I've made so much different friends from across the region. And I think one of the most memorable moments was it was a group assignment. UE's group assignments are definitely character building exercises. That is that I think is the best way to describe it.
I agree.
And I met this young lady um, from the BVI. Her name is
Mm,
Kiana. And we were having those moments with our colleagues,
mm,
and somehow we just clicked. And she became my friend from that moment until now. And last year in November, I was traveling a lot. She asked me, like, when you coming back? When you coming back? So I told her, well, I should be back October 30th. So she told me, I'm coming to Anguilla November 1st. I was like, what? This is a
wow.
person that I have been friends with virtually for the last 3 years. And we are now meeting in person. And we had an amazing time together. Her personality was just as good as it was online when I met her in person. So for me, I would say my most memorable moments in UE, and that goes right back to even undergraduate level, is making friends. I
Or the
mean, of course,
camaraderie, even in those times, yeah.
making friends. I've made life lasting friends from this institution.
Yes, I'd have to agree with Malentia. The friendship and that bond that you create is it's different, and it's not something that you're going to get from any other university. We already have those similarities, being Caribbean people, and then you get to learn different things about persons as well, and that bond, it's different.
It's definitely different. It's something that you cannot compare. Your college friends, they hold a very special place in your heart. It's a different level of love you have for them.
And that is, even though we have sister universities, that is something so unique about the global campus. As you said, she was your friend for 3 years and you've never met her face to
Never.
face. That is a unique experience for a lot of persons. So we have some persons who are watching on our YouTube page and they just want to shout out. We have Cindy Harrigan, she's watching from San Martin, and we have Miss Danielle, she is watching from St. Kitts Nevis, and she wants to tell she's proud of her university colleague Wetella Charles. So Wetella, that is a shout out for you. We also have Claudia Kildo watching from Jamaica, and they are agreeing with some of the stories, your stories that you've been sharing so far, and they're encouraging you and sending you love. For those who are watching, please send the chat. We will read it and just continue to encourage our two graduates. I want to get into something that a lot of persons may find is very unique to us in the sense that we are an online university and we have a global reach. Both of you would have studied your undergrad at landed campuses. Tell us, how was it transitioning from face-to-face environment where you're accustomed to going to class at a certain time every day, you have face-to-face classes, you interact with your lecturers on a face-to-face basis. How was it to transition now to a fully online environment, getting accustomed to the technology and class times and all those different nuances that are involved with our environment at the global campus?
My main concern attending the global campus, being from a landed campus, was the interaction, if it would be on the same level, if I would have the same access to tutors, to lecturers. You typically have office hours that you can attend at landed campuses. But with the global campus, I was pleasantly surprised. The classes were extremely interactive. We're able to speak in the chat. The professors would call you by name. You were able to have discussions. The discussion forum is also a place where you interacted. It was strictly for schoolwork, but you could kind of see, okay, I know this person. So if you're placed in a group, you're familiar with at least the name. Also, the course coordinators, they were extremely helpful. We had WhatsApp groups. They were available, some of them at any time of the day or night. They really lent themselves, and they really provided that additional support.
So you wouldn't say that there was any time that you felt that you weren't connecting, or how did you overcome if you did have any challenges in that aspect?
Challenges did not necessarily come from the coordinators or the tutors. It was more so maybe if you're awaiting grades, if you have an issue with payments, things like that, because it's strictly email, it takes a while to get a response.
To add to that, I would say definitely the challenge for me with integrating from a campus where I got up every day, went to class at a particular time, was now being disciplined to actually attend classes when I'm supposed to attend classes, go online every day and check the portal to see if there's any updates. Because now with us now working, earning a living while going to school, it's easy for us to get distracted by our day-to-day lives and not go on to the portal to check. So I feel like it took a level of mental toughness and discipline to set a schedule in place so that you would go online at particular times of the day when you had like an ease to ensure that you were up to date with everything that was going on, because it's a lot of information. It's going by pretty quickly. Every week is a new topic, and you're working two jobs.
I could understand the struggle. So you wouldn't say that there was any real divide with the technology. The technology was easy to understand, to comprehend. And if you didn't, you would have gotten feedback from any kind of help desk or technical support that was available to you.
Well, I was already pretty familiar with the portal because I've done
Mm-hmm.
summer courses at the open campus while I was in St. Augustine. So
Okay.
managing the portal was not a big issue for me. It was quite familiar.
Yeah. It's definitely a learning curve that can be undertaken and understood. Okay.
Yeah.
So did either of you ladies have payment plans? Did you tap into that aspect of the campus?
Most definitely. I
Mhm.
feel like that is something that we need to probably highlight some more, because
Mm.
with other universities, I'm not sure what the payment process is, but I know with UE and the payment plan portal, I utilized it because I financed my degree myself, and it was more easier for me to pay in installments than to pay the tuition at the beginning of the semester all at once. I definitely think that is another element that we need to really promote, because you're getting top quality education for a quarter or a fraction of the price that you would get it at another institution. And UE is accredited just like all of the other universities. My
And
degree
not even top.
is everywhere.
Pardon?
My degree would be recognized everywhere I go.
Yes. Right. That's what I was going to say. Not only top quality, but globally recognized as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would like to just add, thanks to, of course, my mother and my family for helping me with my undergraduate degree. I was able to now come into this institution, the global campus, and complete my tertiary level, the ending of my tertiary level, because I'm not doing no PhD, education debt free. So that is something we definitely need to celebrate, because I don't think there are many people my age that could say that, they've done a bachelor's, they've done a master's, and they're debt free. And UE has helped
Awesome.
me to say this confidently.
You're not going to do your doctorate? You're finished?
I think I could. I don't know if I'll change my mind in the future, but for
Okay.
right now, I need a break.
Yeah. Understood. But tell her, how about you? Did you take advantage of the payment plan option?
I definitely did. Just like Valencia, I also financed my way through my master's degree. So the payment plan came in very handy. It was very easy to use. Everything was clearly laid out, and the online portal for payments was also very easy and straightforward. And the
So
payments were reasonable.
They were,
we
for sure.
definitely need to highlight that aspect more, and I'm glad that two of you would have been able to benefit from that. So tell us, did you involve yourself, were you able to involve yourself in any extracurricular activities with the campus? Did your schedule even allow that?
Unfortunately, mine did not.
Mhm. I know Melentia is going to tell me hers either.
Jobs.
Definitely did
Hers
not.
either.
Not this time around.
Mhm.
I was a part of the guild in undergraduate, but I couldn't. Postgraduate, I really couldn't.
I know you both would have alluded to your schedules earlier in the conversation, but tell us, how did you balance your work, your home responsibilities, your studies, and Any other activities that you would have been responsible for during the time of your study?
Okay, for me, I like to have a good time. I love to have a good time. And I love to travel, so I'm always on the go. So for me, what I always did was at the beginning of the semester, I would go through my courses, all of my courses, and I would make a list of the due dates for the assignments. So I would, if I'm doing two courses, I would put on one paper the due dates for this course, and then on the next paper for the second course, and then I would look at the two papers and see the order in which they would be coming due. And then I would make one list outlining all of the due dates. And then I had a rule. I cannot go out if my assignments are not done. So if I wanted to go to an event, if I wanted to travel, and I traveled, I had to ensure that before I got on that plane, before I went to that event, my assignment was completed or close to being completed prior to me enjoying myself.
A
That's
very
what,
disciplined approach, yeah.
yeah, that's what I did.
For me, similar to Melentia, well, I did not make a list, but I made sort of like a calendar and highlighted all of the days that my assignments were due. It also really helps me to have an accountability partner. One of my very close friends and colleagues, Leticia Daniel, we did the degree program together. So we were kind of each other's accountability partners. One person had to go out, we made sure all of our assignments were done, we revised, we vacationed together, we were on vacation, you know, doing group work,
Yes,
doing assignments.
as well.
So if you have someone that is with you, that is pushing you, that is encouraging you, that is a very big help as well.
Yeah, I could recall I was in the Bahamas having lunch with my laptop open, finishing assignments.
Yes, I was in
And
some hits like, okay, this group work needs to be submitted by 11 before we go out. So let's do this.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's good. I would say, I think before UE, in terms of friends, it's a good thing that you mentioned accountability partners. I feel like before UE, I would have to have my friends in categories. These are my fun friends, these are my study friends, you know. But with UE, I found friends that were both. So you didn't have that guilty feeling of I cannot go to this event because, you know, I got this schoolwork to do. Your friend wants to go to the event as well.
Yeah,
So
everybody wants to go.
so he or she will tell you, hey, we gotta finish this work by, like she
Yeah.
said, 11 o'clock because we have to go out for 12.
And it comes back to the friendships because even Cleticia, I met her in undergrad at Mona. She's from
Mhm.
Nevis. And we were able to carry that friendship onwards to postgrad, able to vacation together, do things, and really be there for each other. So it still comes all the way back to the friendships that you create.
It's true. It's
I'm
really,
definitely hearing camaraderie, persons, aligning yourselves with persons with shared values and priorities, and very disciplined scheduling for you to that really helped you get through those three years of studying. That is very good because I just want to follow on from what Tala would have mentioned friendships and persons encouraging her along the way. And I'm just gonna go back now onto the YouTube page and read some of the comments that persons are leaving for you. You guys are very popular. We have Claudette Wallace, she's watching from Dominica, and that is with Tella's godmother. She says she's so proud of her child. We have Kiana Walters. She's proud of her friend Melentia. She says to keep excelling and representing the UE Pelican pride. We also have Andia. She is also cheering on Malentia for her achievement. We have Ashley also cheering you on. Claudia, again, she said she's so proud it's giving her shivers. Ladies, how do you feel knowing that so many persons are supporting you? So many persons would have cheered you on from the beginning to the end of this journey, and they're still here cheering for you. How does that make you feel knowing that you've accomplished this great task and have so many people in your corner?
It gives me a sense of pride and is very humbling at the same time. For me, I'm one of the first persons in my family to have an undergraduate degree, much as a master's. So it's really not mine, it's everyone's, it's theirs.
Yeah, definitely.
And for me, I am very thankful for all of my friends that are there. They've been there for me from the beginning until now. And fun fact, all of them are Pelicans.
Yes.
All of them are
What
Pelicans.
a good crowd to be in, right?
Pelican pride.
Exactly. So tell me, how was it? Did you all build a relationship with the sites in your respective countries?
Yes, yes. I have a good working relationship with Pat and Aldine. I will call them anytime, send them an email. Dr. Phyllis Banks, she's not there anymore. Really
Yeah,
great
she's retired. Yeah.
as well. I'll send them an email. Even when I was in UWI St. Augustine, because of course I did courses with the open campus site, they'd always send emails just checking up on me. How is the semester going? UWI is definitely a close-knit family. It's very family oriented, warm, and welcoming. And as I like to say, the UWI family, if people wasn't aware, persons who go to UWI tend to be the leaders of the Caribbean.
That is definitely true. When you check through our politicians, our leaders, they are pelicans.
Yeah.
Tell how about you?
For
What was
me,
the relationship like with you and the Antigua site?
for me, the Antigua site is a bit large. It's very easy to get lost. But head of site, Miss Colleen Letlow, she is a true gem. She is extremely helpful. She's very supportive. If you need assistance, no matter how busy she is, she will assist. She's really there for students.
Awesome. I know Colleen would be proud to see you here and to hear the compliments that you are giving to her and her team. I know they work extremely hard to be in a virtual environment as well to give the students that face-to-face, that personal interaction, because sometimes even online learning environment can be very impersonal and even isolating for some students. So it's good to know that both of you are able to cultivate that relationship. So speaking of virtual, I know for the last couple of years since the pandemic, we've moved from face-to-face graduation to online graduation. And one of the main points of your journey for most students, if not all, is that physical walk across the stage to receive your degree and to shake hands, take your photos, your families are in the crowd cheering for you. How was it? How did you feel about the virtual graduation? And did you have any special rituals on the day, like a watch party to celebrate with your friends and family? How did you spend the day?
Well, for me, I opted to graduate with the UWI Five Islands campus here in Antigua because
Okay, great.
I wanted that interaction. I think it would have been nice if the global campus had a face-to-face graduation. We would have been able to meet the persons that we've been bonding with and struggling with and laughing with and stressing out with for the past 3 years.
Well, for
You
me,
didn't even say that.
go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead, Malentia.
Oh, it's fine.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that I attended my graduation in 2019. So my graduation in 2023, I was just thankful for the journey. I've been through so much over those last 3 years. And I was encouraged by my friends and family to celebrate the moment because I've worked hard for it. So I actually had my own watch party. The campus on Island Anguilla, the site campus, they had a watch party, but I did my own watch party. So I had decor, I had food, we had a big TV, chair set up, and it was just a very intimate moment for me and those who mean the most to me.
Yeah. And that is great too. You got to have fun without worrying about assignments or anything like that. You're back to your old self. Okay, that is great. So back to the comments on the page. They're thanking you for the great tips that you're giving, especially the discipline of not going out before working, even though you were completed or near completion. Alf, Alpha Banking, he's also saying how proud he is of you, Malentia.
Thank you.
So once again, we want to tell those who are listening not to only take the tips that are being given. There are very gems that are being dropped here by two recent graduates. We want you to also take that plunge and go ahead and apply. If you are interested in taking that next step in your career, we are now open for application. Wednesday, July 31st is the deadline for undergraduate programs beginning in September, and Friday, July 12th for postgraduate programs beginning in September. You can log on to www.global.uwi.edu/apply-now and follow the instructions on screen. You can also contact us as well if you need any assistance to apply for your program. So tell us, what have you both been doing since completing your degree? It's over now, you're finished. Tell us, how are you celebrating? What are next steps for you?
Well, I'm currently very happy not to have any assignments. It was a bit of an adjustment after finishing, and you get home from work and you feel like you're missing something. You still have something to do and you realize you have nothing to do. So being able to really breathe and enjoy the moment has been great. And I am currently employed at the UWI Five Islands campus as the administrative coordinator for policies, regulations, and records. So that's what I've been doing.
After completing my degree, I took a trip. The trip lasted a month. So I went to Africa, different parts of Africa,
Wow.
and we went to Paris and London. That was a month. And when I came back from that trip, I went to Dominica because we have to go back to our roots.
Always,
Yes.
always.
Our roots for Creole Festival, and it was just an amazing time. Since then, I've been working on my own page, which I'm very excited about. It's called Walkabout TV, where you can find your rhythm and find your tribe. That's on Facebook. And I'm on TikTok and Instagram under Molentia_S. So I'm really trying to get into digital marketing on my own. So that's what I've been up to. I've actually been reached out to by one of the hotels on Island. They had this event where they invited local creatives. It was an Afro beats and jazz evening, and they just wanted us to give them feedback about our experience. That was in December. And in March, I was reached out to by this festival on Island called the Moon Splash Festival. It's been around for the last 34 years, and they asked me to be a media personality for them, creating promotional content for the festival. It's a reggae full moon festival held every year in March. This year, the headliners were the Whalers, Protege, Mighty Mystic. So I am looking forward to developing my skills as a content creator, as a digital marketer, owning more marketing skills and experience. And I am hoping that I can get calls in the future from countries all across the Caribbean to experience their events and actually come to their events as an influencer and not just a party goer. So I'm trying to turn my love for fashion, my passion for fashion, my love for traveling and fitting and enjoying a good time into a career.
That is amazing. Yes, that is amazing. So both of you will definitely say you're using your degree to the fullest of what you would have learned to the fullest of your ability. It was transferable.
Yes, it was.
Definitely.
That is amazing. Malentia, you were not kidding when you said you love to travel.
I'm
No.
saying.
I'm always ready.
Put us in your suitcase.
I'm definitely the friend you can call last minute. I'll be like, okay, I'll meet you there.
But it must be so great for both of you to not only be working in your field that you study so hard for, but to be able to say, oh, it's over, you can do fun things again.
It can. What I would say though, I don't know how whichever may feel about this, but I think it is something that needs to be said. I think sometimes us as students, we get caught up in trying to get the degree so much that we lose ourselves a little bit, just focusing on deadlines, focusing on assignments, focusing on grades. And when we actually finish the degree and it's finally over and we can actually exhale, we are a bit lost. We don't know what to do. We don't know what's next. So my advice to anyone who wants to pursue a degree or is already pursuing a degree is to find that time for yourself. I'm not saying to overdo it. I'm just saying to find that time to understand what you like to do while pursuing your degree.
I
Those are
strongly,
gems, yeah.
and also do mental health checks with yourself. There's sometimes maybe you have an assignment due, but you just can't at the moment. You get home one day and you're just not able to. It's okay to like give yourself that evening to yourself to breathe and just go back at it the next day.
And to add to that, I would like to highlight my friend. She's probably watching, Kiana Walter. She's also a Pelican. She taught me that because I tend to be very goal oriented. I tend to be on the overachieving side, which sometimes could be a bit overwhelming. And I would get a bit, uneasy if I'm trying to do an assignment and I'm reading it over and it's not sounding the way it should in my mind. She was one of those persons who taught me, Tia, take it piece by piece, day by day. The assignment isn't due until this time. So if you need an evening off, take the evening off. If you need an hour off, take an hour off and come back to it at a different time, but you will get there.
Yeah. I think the important
Very
message is have UWI Pelican friends, because both of my UWI Pelican like best friends right now, Whitney
Yes.
White, Danielle, they were the ones doing that for me because they understand and they understand the rigor and they understand that balance is actually very, very important.
All of my friends, literally, I feel like if I went to any other institution, I would not have found friends like them. And all of them are angels in my life. And I kid you not, they have all come into my life at different stages in my life where they were just exactly what I needed. Ashley's on the live. She was my Pelican angel in UW St. Augustine. Andia's on the live. She was my Pelican angel. We did not go to UW together. I actually met her through work when I was working at my previous job, but we were both Pelicans. And It's something different about UE Pelicans.
Yes,
So my mentor is a UE Pelican. She's probably on there too, Miss Donna Banks. And she went to Cave Hill. Like, it's something special about Pelicans.
it is.
Indeed. And it's so good to hear both of you speak about mental health because we know for the last 4 years that issue or that topic has really exploded on the international scene. And also just to hear you speak about friendship and how those would have also helped you to make it through this journey. And I'm so proud of you too. I don't even know you, but I'm so proud of you too. And just your spirit and speaking about your experience at the UWA Global Campus was so inspiring. And I know a lot of persons who are listening as well, they are also inspired. So we hope that they do take that step. They do take some of these tips that you're giving. You guys are dropping some gems, and we hope that they would take that advice. But before we go, because we're gonna start to wrap up in the next 15 minutes or so, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? If you don't want to go in depth, you don't have to, but just tell us.
In
Okay.
the next 5 years, I probably see myself maybe going for that doctoral degree.
You go, girl. I'm rooting.
I see myself doing that. In the next 5 years, I see it.
Lately, I've been having big and audacious dreams. So, in the next 5 years, I definitely see myself as becoming a professional public speaker. I see myself actually expanding the Walkabout TV brand. I really want to talk to young girls about healing and mental health because those are some topics that I think that we in the Caribbean shy away from. A lot of the time, it's kind of taboo to talk about your mental health because if you do, somebody might just automatically assume, you're not
You're
well,
mad, you're crazy, yes.
you know. And yeah, in the next 5 years, of course, I have my travel bucket list that I have to take off in the next 5 years as well. But
Yeah.
I definitely see myself expanding the Walkabout TV brand, becoming a full-time public speaker, hosting possibly my own podcast or even a television show.
I see that for you.
Big, yeah. I see it for both of you. Both of you have big dreams, and I'm so happy that will continue to progress and will continue to plan. And I know you will continue to overcome and to achieve. Before we go, I want each of you just to give a brief advice to any prospective students who might be watching, who may be thinking of applying to start their studies in September. What last set of advice do you have for them?
You want me to go first? It's okay. Okay, for me, I would definitely recommend UE. I mean, I am a Pelican throughout. The accessibility, the flexibility, the affordability, the networking opportunities, the friendships. Those are my key takeaways from UE. I think it's very important for us to know that you just never know where you'd end up in this world and how these connections can help you with your goals and your destiny. Having a conversation with the right person in the right time, people take stuff like that for granted. And it's so amazing how small the Caribbean is once you develop a network outside of the island in which you live in. To be a young person, as young as I am, and to be able to say that because I went to the University of the West Indies, and I didn't go to the US, to Canada, or to the UK. I can start my life. Of course, it's not just about me because my family had, specifically my mom, had a lot to play in where I am today. But just to know, because of the University of the West Indies, I can say I can start my life debt free. I think that's an amazing feat for a young person because people my age, they have student debt. And then when you want to start to think about building a home or even purchasing things, you're already tied up in so much debt. It's so difficult for you to do. And the UE is really an amazing place. It is challenging. I know me and Wichella, my new friend, my new Pelican sister, made it sound so easy. It wasn't easy. It was a very challenging but rewarding journey. And if you take it seriously, if you actually put in the work, you will see the fruits in the future. Maybe not right now, but you will definitely see them in the future.
I completely agree with everything that Melentia said, my Yui Pelican sister.
Yes.
I think that
Dr. Charles.
yes, and my Dominican sister. Yes,
Yes.
can't forget that.
I can see you at Creole Fest this year.
Yes. But I think Yui represents true regionalism, like that experience that you get meeting persons from the different islands. You're not going to get that anywhere else. You're really not. The social vibe as well is completely different. The educational structure different. The material you're learning not only about the US and the UK, but you're also learning about different islands, their political landscape. There's so many things to learn, and there are professors and lecturers that truly care about you and your education. There are people that after you graduate, you can reach out to them for reference. They will check in on you. They may help you get a job. Like,
Yes.
it's truly a community, and it's going to be challenging. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it. We did it. A lot of others did it. You can do it. You just have to push yourself, be dedicated, not give up, and surround yourself with the right people,
The right type of pelicans.
right type of pelicans. Yes.
Awesome. And to sum it up, that basically sums up what one of our listeners or watchers is saying. Patricia, that is your friend Danielle. She's basically saying we made us meet friends from different Caribbean countries with different backgrounds, but also allowed us to understand how we are so similar. I believe that was the theme this evening. And I just want to thank those who are watching. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting your friends and for commenting and for sending all the love that you have for them and for our program. I want to thank my very special guests, Miss Molentia Samuel from Anguilla and Miss Witella Charles from Antigua and Barbuda for joining us, taking the time out of their busy schedule to join us today and to tell us about their UWI Global Campus journey. On behalf of the campus, we wish you all the very best, every success that you can think of, that you can dream of. We want that for you too. We also want to thank those working in the background. We have Mr. Patrick Johnson and Miss Marcia Reed. They are helping us with the technical aspects as well as our social media platform. And on that note, thank you for joining us once again, for tuning in. Remember, next time, tune in as well to listen to another round of students speak about their experience at the UWI Global Campus. Until next time, I'm Sharice Glasgow. Bye.